What's up guys, Sub-Zero here for my first VOD review of the new patch. This is 1324B or 1325. It's actually like kind of confusing. They have said it's like both a B patch, but it's also like not a B patch. Actually like a ton of changes in this patch. And one in particular was really interesting. It was a buff to EDM. There was also a buff to bruisers and a buff to moshers that made a new comp emerge. So today we're gonna be watching Box play this new Jax reroll comp. All I know is that he got to the final board that I wanted to review, but I don't actually know how the game goes whatsoever. Stationary support still a very broken augment. Birthday present if you have insane tempo can be good, but it's just not ideal, especially when you have the opportunity to take something like stationary support. Infinity Force augment as well. Freaky Friday also really strong as well, but looks like we're just gonna opt for stationary support here, and you get Rando and Zeke's, which is not amazing because you can't really make use of both very well. This is okay, at least we're getting use of the dummy. It probably, I mean, I think the reason why he opted to not take Infinity Force here was because of his items. Like, you're looking for something more AP this game. It's actually interesting. It's kind of surprising the fact that he ends up playing a Jax game from here, because like his spot does not look that good to play Jax from itemization wise. At least he gets a Jax in shop here. But yeah, I'm really curious to see how this comp performs. I've heard some really insane things. Why did we do this positioning? Why? I guess you're sacrificing the Randuin's value for the disco value. Okay, on the Tark, and you'd prefer just to have disco on the Tark. Okay, I guess that makes sense. The HP and the attack speed versus the resists. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. It's so awkward to position with disco as well. I mean, there's Jax pair, so I guess you can sort of already see why he's thinking about playing Jax from this spot, because I do think Jax is really good on this patch. I'm not sure how good exactly, like if it's something that you should ever like force, but I do think it's very under the radar right now. I haven't seen too many people playing it. But it does look like really strong, and he even makes the Shojin here. So yeah, he makes Shojin, but he's still thinking about playing Jax from here, which is wild to me. Jax pair, like I would think he would just end up holding Echo here and playing towards some kind of AP angle. This board looks kind of weak, honestly. But you know, it's all right, because now like if you want to play towards Jax, like I think he might go for Titans. I was looking at Box match history, and he played Jax a few times and ended up making Titans on him a couple of times. I don't think this Titans item is very good on. I don't think it's amazing on Jax. I haven't looked at the stats, but like theoretically, I think the idea of like JG plus Hodge is like way better to play towards Jax. But yeah, he gets the Jax in here, gets EDM in, and so okay, the idea is that like we're gonna Shojin Lux, I guess. Though I don't. Well, like once again, I don't really love Shojin on Lux. I think she's a unit that really wants like raw damage. The thing is that we're going to be itemizing we're going to be EDMing Jax probably this game, unless it ends up being a Lux Jax game, which could be interesting as well to see. But if we're EDMing Jax, it doesn't matter as much. Like the idea is that, you know, if you're playing EDM with Lux, then she sort of gets mana for free. Also, I mean, thinking about it just from the perspective of the stationary support, right? The stationary support is really nice for Jax. Give him a ton of attack speed, which he scales very well off of because he gets all these extra stats, and give him the armor and MR that will help him live longer because he's kind of like a frontline carry. So yeah, and look, he's just building the board out right now. I don't know about Twisted Fate on this board, but I mean, I do think the board is still sort of like a work in progress. People haven't figured out exactly what the best board is. I've heard 5 EDM for Mosher is the idea. And he sort of already has, you know, the 2 EDM here, and then he just picked up a Mosher here, which is really nice, and then he can just continue to play this disco board for a little while. If he finds a set, then he'll start feeling really good, because that just slots in perfectly with the Bruiser and the Mosher here, so that would be amazing. A ton of gold here, which is nice, just means he can sell and make 30. Another bow here, which means he's probably going to be forced to... Oh, wow, he doesn't actually want to sell the Echo Pair, and oh, he hits... All right, but this is interesting. He hits Mosher Jax here, and he's just going to opt to buy the Mosher Jax here. I've heard actually that you just should... That you should just almost hard force the EDM version, because vertical EDM is just so strong compared to vertical Mosher. So we're going to see more so vertical Mosher this game from Box, so that should be interesting. Also, I guess I didn't mention, but this is the first time I'm ever VOD reviewing Box on the channel. Very solid player, and he was the only person I saw playing this comp. Isn't it just Silver Veil here? I mean, Harmoses is not bad either, but it's probably just Silver Veil, I would think. I feel like this augment is like too good to pass up. Wow, he wants to go for Keepers, perhaps? I mean, Keepers is actually, like, solid right now, but it's gonna be much worse later, I would say. Alright, now we can get the double jacks in. Sadly, like, pairs of units don't benefit, and he ends up selling the Echo, which is so sad. But yeah, I don't think there's ever really a reason to make this. Holy fuck. What? Wait. What is that? Can we go back and look at that for a second? He recombobulated into a Z2, and he has two Z1s. What the is board? It's just a hilarious board, actually. Okay. All right. That guy just has 5 Zs, I guess. I mean, what? I mean, it doesn't really do anything because he didn't even have Z items. But that's really awkward. And then I'm curious. Okay. I mean, now he's 7 Jaxes. I'm curious about like when you roll in this comp. He could also fit in 4 Mosher here with the Gnar. He actually rolls once here. Wow. He's rolling kind of deep here. I mean, I guess the idea is that you want to play for 6 Mosher if you have the Mosher +1, and then 6 Mosher, and then as many vertical EDM as you can play. There's the inbuilt synergy between EDM and Mosher with Zac, because he's a bruiser, which fits with Set and with Zac. Wait, yeah. I mean, that statement made sense, I think. I wouldn't even hold the Blitzcrank here. It looks like he's thinking about some kind of EDM disco game, but I don't think that's the strong. Like, yeah, he's looking at that version. I don't think that's the strongest version, though, and I think he might end up getting into another version eventually. We'll see. I'd love to pick up like a glove here for that potential JG or Hodge, because I think BIS Jax tends to be JG Hodge +1, just because you want him to be jumping and then like one-shotting units. He's going to continue to roll really, really deep here. He's going to be very, very broke, but I think he wants to maintain his streak is the idea, but he's going to be giga broke. And yeah, we're going to go the double Titans Jax, which, I mean, I think this Jax unit is probably relatively flex with the itemization that you can put on him. You know, he can hold the Titans, he can hold those like more like crit based versions. I just feel like, I mean, at the end of the day, Jax is sort of like a scaling unit. You know, every time he leaps, he gets those scaling stats. So something like a Titans to even lean into that more makes sense, right? Just make him survive a really long time, especially you have this Randuin's, you have the Keepers bonus, you're going to make a really, really tanky Jax with a ton of stats. And wow, he's even going to roll here. Holy, I mean, now he's one off Jax, so you kind of have to roll. But yeah, he's just gonna doggy roll. Oh man, I feel like I'm watching like a VOD from China right now. Just we're level 6, 0 gold, 3-6. I didn't know Box is such an aggressive player. Like I said, this is my first time ever VOD reviewing him, and like I mean, it's kind of sick, right? He's gonna maintain his streak here. Like this could have been an Urgot 2 diff potentially, though it doesn't really look like it. But I mean, obviously if he hits Jax 3, it helps spike him really hard. And boom, there's Jax. I mean, we're 0 gold, but we have finally hit. I'm also sort of curious about keeping this disco in for so long. Isn't 4 Mosher like an insane spike on this board? I would think so, but perhaps not. We'll see. Obviously, level 7, we can get some good stuff in. Yeah, don't need any of these. Probably don't even really need Urgot 3. And wow, he finds the JG. That's perfect for him. I mean, I do think you would prefer a Hodge over one of these Titans. And I mean, honestly, you can always move it later with the remover. If you find Hodge by like the end of the stage, it actually works. He also did finally get the 4 Mosher in here, just leveled. I think leveling here is perfect because like your 7 streak is worth more than like making a little bit of gold here. Like if you can continue your streak, which this level definitely allows you to push, then it's really, really good for you. So yeah, we have the Jax 3, 94 HP and streaking. Support Cache seems kind of fun. We already have JG, but like Jewel Lotus does in some ways synergize with JG. Ascension could be fun, but the problem is that like I'm not like the fights where you make it to Ascension, you're probably winning regardless. So yeah, something like this I like. I kind of liked the support item a bit more, but maybe this is correct. I'm not actually 100% sure. It's kind of close. Because like it's only Jewel Lotus on Jax, right? And it's Jewel Lotus with the JG already, so you're getting the crit out of the JG, which is in some ways really nice. In other ways is like, I mean, like fine. But yeah, I don't know. Let's watch this Jax pop off. I guess it sort of depends on what support item you end up getting. But something like the one that reduces CC could be like insane. Another Zeke's would be solid. Even like the Chalice would be solid. Get Jax casting faster and give him some AP. So yeah, and you're already sort of positioning for this target dummy though. Like obviously you'd want to put the extra support item on the dummy, but dummies can't get items past the ones that have already been equipped. So Sag. In any case, 94 HP, hard win streaking in this spot. Definitely looks like this comp is real, and it also looks like, I don't know, I was told that you really, really want the vertical EDM, but I mean, with how hard this comp is streaking, without vertical EDM, I wonder if just, you know, either version of Jax is completely fine. I guess we'll see how it ends up looking like late game. He could take a glove here. to start looking towards that potential Hodge, because that would be like best case scenario. Yeah, I think that's the best option here. The only downside is that, you know, you have this Giant's Belt that's open, but like worst case, you can make take item. Oh my god. All right. I mean, there's Zach and Poppy. Surely, yep, you just pivot this board now into the 6 Masher version. And then, yeah, this just comes in over Nami. And our board looks insane. Now we can stop positioning for that and just move up like this. And, like, honestly, the positioning looks, like, perfect here. I love this. And, yeah, we're moving into 6 Masher, which should be a big spike for this Jax. And the 3DM should help a lot as well. Wow, Jax ends up dying here, but we're fine, yeah, with the Jaxes jumping. And then our next level is just going to be like Zed, right? And just play or EDM and just, you know, play as vertical as we can here, just because the comp fits together pretty well, I would say. Not like perfectly. I wish there were more sort of inbuilt synergies, but maybe then the comp would be too OP. He was like team building into TF earlier, but I don't know. I don't think TF makes that much sense. I think it's fine just to have the Shojin on Lux. The only downside is no Dazzler for Lux, so like we don't get that damage reduction, but it's fine. Like, it's not the end of the world. And I mean, yeah, look, this 12 streak on this Jax 3. The tempo of this unit seems insane. Obviously, the stationary support was really, really nice for Jax. Like, in hindsight, the stationary support has done, like, insane work onto Jax. Like, it's just been perfect for him. But, like, wow. I mean, I don't think his setup is, like, that ideal. He also hit Jax pretty quickly, but it's just sort of a product of how hard he rolled down for it. We're gonna have to make Nashers, which is a little bit awkward here. But I mean, it is nice that I wouldn't roll too deep here. Yeah, he's gonna get this in, but I wouldn't even roll this deep. Wow, he finds a TF too. Holy. Right, he can move the items over. Hodge, Titans, this, and then I assume the Titan's gonna have to go on like Urgot. Oh, he's gonna put it on Poppy, okay, and then just move a Nashers onto TF. I'd probably just end up Nasherings the Lux just to you know, multiply the stats. Yeah, I think that's correct. I know he wants an item on TF, but it just feels a little bit bad. But yeah, there's the Zed, which I'm not actually sure. Oh, yeah, he gets this in here for just another, just a better version of Mosher. But yeah, like, is it ever Zed over TF here? You lose Dazzler? Maybe it's just not. Another EDM unit is nice, but like, I don't know, like it benefits every like EDM cast. You know, it like reduces the reduction that EDM does. So like, I don't know. I think it might be Zed because I don't know. Like the Dazzler for Lux, obviously don't need it for damage. The question is like, is the damage reduction good enough that we should not play for EDM here? And honestly, like, I don't know what the EDM breakpoints are now because I have like never played EDM until this patch. And I mean, I'm VOD reviewing this comp. I'm not VOD reviewing my own game because I still haven't played it yet. I just have the base idea of how to play it. We do kind of need to beef up the front line, actually. It's a little bit awkward how, like, small our front line is. Like, it's just a Poppy one, a Zac one. We don't even have set 2 here, which feels a little bit bad. But, oh my god, look at this Jax go. Just jumped into the middle there. Just dealt 11k damage in, like, 12 seconds. Holy. This unit's actually a monster. I don't know if we're hitting Lux 3. I might have sold the Lux there, but I'm also just very not greedy with that kind of stuff. Speaking of the frontline issue, I'd probably just want a frontline item here. Sterax looks amazing. Like, it would be really nice to get an item onto, like, Lux or something like that, but I don't think our issue is the Lux items. I think our issue is having a frontline. I guess the upside is this is also an Urgot, but, I mean, I feel like the Guardbreaker, I mean, getting an extra Urgot for potentially Urgot 3 is really, really nice. And then you just Guardbreaker TF at this point, I guess, if you're itemizing this way. I don't know. Guardbreaker Poppy, I mean, I guess she takes the attacks. It's, I could see it, I guess. I'd probably just put it on TF or something, but I could see it. Just get to 3 out of Poppy as soon as possible. But yeah, I mean, look, we're already almost top 4 at 83 HP. He's actually just been coasting this entire game, like, easily with this Jax. Like, it just goes to show how strong this unit is with, like, I mean, I do think Hodge JG is definitely BIS, and then the question is if Titans is BIS, and I haven't looked at the stats yet, but I've heard that you want, like, Hodge JG Hodge, or Hodge JG, like, Edge of Night. I'm not sure what else you would want, like, maybe double healing item. Wow, we just get sniped there by these big shots. Actually get destroyed by this board, who's also 2 off Israel 3, by the way. So that's something to keep in mind. That looks really, really scary. Hopefully someone else can beat them. But, you know, maybe not, especially once they hit Ez 3. And it'd be really nice to fit a Lowy here, but we just have to cut one of the sort of more essential units, which I don't think it's right. I mean, I think 6 Monster is really, really good. I think playing towards 48 EDM or even just this Dazzler that we have right now is really, really good. So, yeah. Um, would like to finish up Poppy items, which I guess is Adaptive Helm. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't think any of the other items really make that much sense. Oh, Ionic Spark. The problem with Ionic here is who are you actually putting it on that's going to get into backline here? Also, it's kind of awkward that we might end up hitting, like, you're going to Ionic... Oh, Ionic Urgot. Interesting. Okay. The idea is that, like, this is going to live for a while. I can sort of see it. I just think, like, if Jax ever jumps into backline, it's going to be hard to apply that Ionic Spark to his targets. Maybe, like, a Static Shiv would be really good. I also wasn't even really looking too closely at Shred here, but, like, I guess this is a comp that actually does really, really want Shred because he's oftentimes, like, he has to sort of go front to back unless he, like, pops off. Also, I can't believe we still haven't found this Urgot 3. Okay, finally. Yeah. I mean, the Urgot 3, it's not insane because we have no items on him, but it's all right. But yeah, it looks like this comp's starting to fall off. We are a 2-cost reroll comp, so it should be falling off definitely by stage 6. And it looks like we can potentially coast into like a top 2, maybe top 3, depending on how things go. Maybe somehow, if we win any fight, we have the possibility of winning the lobby. But it's just like, it's looking like these fights are really hard. He's going to move the Urgot up to maybe get a better... Yeah, like, this actually looks really nice because the issue has just been Jax getting focused down in every single fight. And we do fight Clone here, which is nice, which means we're basically guaranteed top 2. And wow, this fight looks so much better. I know it's versus Clone, but just by not frontlining the Jax, I feel like our fight's going a lot better. So that's something to keep in mind as well, I guess, when you're playing this. We go Emo Spat here. Emo Spat or, like, Red Buff. I like red buff here a good bit. We have no healing reduction at this point. I do almost already like... I mean, it's probably not Ziggs, right? But, like, you know, versus a 2-star TF, but, like, especially with the nerfs to Ziggs. But yeah, I have to imagine we're going to do the same thing. Yep, move Jax back here. And maybe this is enough where Jax isn't getting focused. He has to walk around a bit, but he does have a ton of stats. Jumps in here. He's not getting focused. He's 1 HP. He's 2 HP. He's dead. Okay, we lose this fight, but it looked pretty close, right? I think having Jax not immediately take aggro from all those big shots was really, really crucial. The only downside is sort of the fact that he has to walk around, which is really annoying. I wonder if there's a way where you could, like, sort of move, like, Urgot and one of these units. And yeah, he does actually end up making the pivot. Also moves these items over to Urgot too, which is really smart. Just because Urgot's going to be strong in the Poppy. The only downside is we have to downgrade Poppy to do this, which feels a little bit bad, but it is an Urgot 3, so feels good. I think I said Urgot 2, but I'm trolling. Oof, close fight down to 2 HP. One more fight. What item could swing this fight? I mean, you probably just want a 3rd Ziggs item here. Maybe if you're like the biggest high roller on the server, you hit like a Yorick 2 here on 8 somehow, but that doesn't seem very, very likely. But I don't know, maybe it could happen. I guess we shall see. Rolls here, finds a Zed. Maybe you could play Zed too, but then you have to move items off Zig, so probably not. Zac 2 is actually a very nice upgrade, and he is going to think about this Zed here. The problem is just, like, yeah, your items are so awkward here. He could not have had Zed 2. Oh, the TG for this is really good, and honestly, if the Zac lives, he has pretty good items for the Jax. The problem is if he dies, then he's not going to be able to make use of these items. Oh my god, Jax hits a backline. He's on backline again. He's actually full HP. What a close fight, but he heals up. Oh my god. So close. Every single point in that fight, the Jax heals up, and it is a first from Box. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, and check out my Twitch and all my other links down below. Thank you.